This is Gerardo Del Real with Resource Stock Digest. Joining me today is the president and CEO of Almadex Minerals, Mr. Morgan Poliquin. Morgan, how are you? It's been a bit since we chatted.
Absolutely. I'm doing really well, thank you. And yourself? I hope you and yours are all well.
I am well, healthy, thankfully, and busy, as you can imagine. The last time you and I spoke was several months ago. It's a completely different precious metals market. Gold is flirting with $2,000. Silver's breached 25 and 26, and is sitting at 24.20. And Almadex Minerals looks like it's finally ready to get back to doing what it does best, which is exploring. You had some news that I want to touch on in regards to a new gold project that you have in Nevada that I know you've been working on for quite some time.
Yes, it's one of the properties that we went back and had a look at in Nevada with some of the ideas we developed in Mexico, how to on exploration and what we've learned with looking at alteration zones. So we actually did quite a big exploration program there, and it resulted in staking these claims. That's some time ago now, but we've been assembling properties in areas we like, and we had some claims here already, but there was an opportunity to expand the claim block and add the package of ground last year that we are speaking about here today, and you know, we've been basically obviously planning an exploration program and thinking about you know, exploring on this project, but of course, you know, it's been tough to do that recently, so it's exciting to really you know, as things hopefully continue to open up, to plan to do that.
What are the next steps in regards to this specific project? And then I want to talk a bit about the other projects in the portfolio and the royalties, because I don't think very many people realize that you have over 15 NSR royalties on properties, you know, at various stages in Mexico, in the US, and in Canada. And I think that, you know, frankly, if you took one or two of the projects that you have within the Almadex portfolio and you created a new standalone gold company with a flashy new presentation, you'd be trading at multiples of what Almadex trades with the 15 royalties and the many, many quality projects there. Can you talk about the rest of the portfolio here in a second after we kind of go over what the next steps are at Davis?
Yeah, you know, there at Davis, and thank you very much for that, helping people understand what we're doing over here. Appreciate your thoughts and prognostications. You know, we feel that at this project in Nevada, we've got you know, there's lots of historic work. It's near the Paradise Peak deposit. I can't remember in the news release it gives the exact distance. I can just visualize standing on the outcrop there and how far it was, but it's across the valley. So this area did receive some exploration historically, and those results you know, we found very intriguing and very interesting, and you know, highlight some real potential for particularly vein type you know, higher grade potential at depth. And so that, of course, is what the focus was for the old timers in Nevada in the you know, the 19th century, and then later on in the 20th century, you know, in the 80s and 70s, 80s, and 90s and onwards, you know, lower grade open pit mining became the potential for you know, to explore deeper and targets that haven't been the focus some of the recent exploration programs.
Well, let me just provide a bit of context. You mentioned some of the historic drilling, and I know one of the better intercepts supposedly returned, I think it's 12.2 meters of 6.2 grams per ton gold, and there was, 21 grams a ton of silver in there as well. So not insignificant, and, the fact that they haven't, that it hasn't seen much exploration at depth obviously bodes well for future exploration. Do we anticipate seeing a drill there later this year, Morgan?
That's what we'd like to do. As people may know or may not know, it's worth reminding them, I think, is that we have, a number of drills, and we have the capacity in-house to do, our own diamond drilling at a far reduced rate, and we've developed that capacity over the decades, principally because the real hang-up for exploration I've always seen is drilling. Drilling is very expensive to do. Drilling never goes as well as you like in terms of the amount of meters you drill a day, and it costs a fortune, or it can do, and it can rip through exploration budgets. So what people tend to do is to push off drilling as far as they can in the future, and by having our own in-house drilling and being able to drill for cheaper, as we've demonstrated over the years, then with commercial rates, we're able to get drilling up front. So we can test targets really quickly and be flexible, and not be romancing something for too long. Really test it and get it, kill it if it's not there, and find where the focus should be. So to me, exploration is the exact opposite. It's about finding where things aren't quickly, so you can focus on where things are on a project or regionally. So that's what we'd like to do. Obviously, COVID-19, we're going through. We're just reviewing. What again? When and how and all those things in Nevada. But we're looking forward to doing that in the future. But I think first we'll do. We'll review all the data here as we're doing, and plan to get on the ground before drilling. But that's the idea.
No one has put together, not in the resource space, the type of land position that you have in eastern Mexico, or the quality of projects. Let's talk about the royalty portfolio, which, again, if this was a separate company, I think you're trading in dollars, not cents, right? Which kind of speaks to the value here. But you have 15 royalties, and the most significant, I believe, the most advanced one anyhow, is the 2% NSR on the Ixtaca project, which many of us, including myself, believe will be permitted here in the next several months. And I know that COVID kind of delayed the process there as well, but we're hoping that gets back on track, and there's reasons to believe it will, or it has, I should say. But can you speak to that specific royalty and the rest of the royalty portfolio, because it is incredibly significant, especially when you consider the valuations that royalty companies are commanding right now for quality royalties in a portfolio?
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, I think just speaking to it all comes from our capacity to find and move along, develop new projects from scratch. And so Almadex, while it's the spin-out exploration company out of our group, it's really the business model that's resulted in all these royalties. So what we'd like to think about is that we generate them through discovery. And of course, in 2010, our consolidated group, put the first hole, the discovery hole, into the Ixtaca deposit. And since that time, there's been, obviously, a lot of work. A feasibility study was produced in 2018, and then permits were submitted, and that project is in the permitting phase right now. But obviously, we have a 2% NSR, so that's the NSRs that was kind of created within our group through the spin-out process of creating a new exploration company, Almadex. So it retained an interest in a number of the projects that it kind of, if you like, were discovered in the group. So yeah, it's a process that we hope to continue. We hope that through our exploration efforts we can make another discovery. Obviously, that's the plan for the company, is to keep working and until we generate new projects of interest and potential discoveries, and then this company is focused on exploration, and it will generate as we've done in the past, generate royalties hopefully through transactions. So it's a great way to we're not buying royalties, we're not we're finding them, if you like. And so we have 2% NSR on the Ixtaca deposit, and we have a royalty on the El Cobre project in Veracruz, which is, I would call it advanced exploration. We're pre-resource. There's no economic studies there, but it's a big exploration project, and Zucker Minerals controls that, and there's an equity partner there, Newcrest, a big copper gold producer. So there's a great portfolio of stuff there, and we'd love people to better understand what we're doing.
A lot of upside, market cap sub 20 million Canadian, share structure as clean as it gets. I believe as of the latest reporting period, you had just over 55 million shares outstanding. I believe there were just over 5.2 million options at a strike price higher than today's share price, by the way. And I don't believe you have any warrants outstanding with Almadex either. What's the cash position look like, Morgan?
Yeah, at the last quarter, I believe we're right around 5 million Canadian, and so we've managed to sustain our. We haven't been focused on exploration the last little while. We've had partners exploring. We've optioned properties. We've also had our drills working for other companies. So, we've had a low burn the last little while, but, as I say, we plan to get back to some of our knitting, as it were, and start drilling and exploring, as that becomes possible in this environment.
Looking forward to having you back on when we get some more details on the next stage there. Thanks again, Morgan. Anything else that you'd like to add before I let you go?
I think I just really appreciate being back on the air. I'm probably a little rusty, as we all are, and maybe talking about what we're doing. But Almadex has just, as you put it, there's a great portfolio of exploration projects that we're really excited about getting back moving forward. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Morgan.